I have already mentioned the fact that our planet was petrified during the biblical Armageddon. Let's recall a few fossils that seem to be the same at first glance. They tell their death story. The difference is in the rock in which they were found. Let's go. What do paleontologists say about the origin of fossils? Surprisingly, they all agree that the bodies of these animals decomposed internally and mineral deposits filled the body. Most fossils are found in sediments in limestone, sandstone, shale, and also in hard rocks. And here's the crucial difference. Two fish and two destinies. While the fish on the left is not a classic fossil, the fish on the right has been petrified alive. Why is that? The fish in the left picture was very likely thrown out of the water as the water petrified very quickly. The body of this fish decomposed. The body fluids were absorbed into the limestone and only the skeleton and outline were preserved. The fish pictured on the right was in the water at the time and became part of the hard rock. Its body, including its internal organs, has petrified. It is absolute nonsense that the soft skin would not have decomposed and been filled with rock. This lizard was still alive when it was buried in the limestone. We can see its skeleton, its entrails decomposed and gone. This trilobite was running on the shore. We see confused tracks all around. There were probably more of these animals running around. We're looking at a complete body. And since it's very likely wasn't moving in the water, it was petrified right as it was moving on the shore. Here again we see a strange finding. The fish was trapped in limestone, but its body has turned to stone. The explanation for this is probably that the already petrified fish was thrown out of the water where it was preserved by the limestone. The image on the left is from the Sahara. Beautifully preserved bodies of marine animals that have undergone sudden petrification and have been buried under red limestone. The image on the right, however, is different. This trilobite petrified along with the water. It was just in the sea, and we can also see two shells next to it. All turned into hard rock. They are completely fossilized organisms. You can even still see traces of their skin that has turned into a stone crust. The animals that were found in the limestone were petrified outside of the water. Perhaps they were washed ashore from the sea. Animals found in hard rocks were moving in water at the time in question. Amazingly preserved dragonfly body with all details. You can see that it is complete and it is possible that it fossilized in flight, like a trilobite fleeing on the shore of the sea. A petrified tree stump that was found under a thick layer of limestone. Anything that contains water was petrified. If we look in the Bible, we find mention of God's commandment that the plates of the earth be painted with lime. The subsequent heat burned and hardened this liquid limestone. Everything underneath this layer was preserved. Think of the huge spatters of limestone at Giza with the ruins of buildings strewn about, the limestone spatter under the Sumerian temple in Iraq, or the spiral-shaped hill in Australia. Are our mountains petrified by the waves of the sea? The biblical tsunami that sank the world? It's likely, and it would also explain the multitude of marine animals that have been thrown from the sea onto land during the petrification of the Earth's water. These fish also fossilized and were subsequently buried under a high layer of limestone. Come to think of it, events must have happened very quickly. And now the promised quiz. Surely you notice the increase in climatic disasters, which also include hail. The hail seems to be getting bigger and bigger, and we find mention in the Bible that the hail fell as heavy as a cent. A cent is a measure of 100 kilograms. Someone please tell me how a hail can fossilize. According to paleontologists, it was probably filled with sediment. The two pictures you are looking at share the same origin, but they are separated by a very long period in our history. But that's not all. Better said, there are many of these stone hailstones in the world, we just don't know that they are hailstones. Until the release of the next video, you can guess what it is about, and I will devote a separate video to this topic. Thanks for watching.